We're going to start seated again. We're doing pretty much the same as yesterday. And we're going to continue opening up through the side ribs. So we're going to continue in terms of the breath, really working on really like laterally opening through the rib cage. So again, we're really used to breathing into the front body, which isn't wrong. We need the front body to breathe, but we have all this space that's kind of underutilized. And especially in our back bends, when we're really contracting and opening the front of the body, it can feel a little bit tricky to breathe sometimes, which is why it's a really nice place to learn to breathe into the side body. But again, we'll start just seated for a few moments. You can place your hands on your laps, palms down or up, whatever's most comfortable for you. Take a moment to soften the shoulders, but even as you soften the shoulders, to reach the crown of the head up. So finding that place a little bit towards the back of the head and feeling as though that's being really gently drawn up towards the ceiling. Feeling your sitting bones and the contact with whatever you're sitting on. See if you can feel yourself evenly distributed between left and right. Soften through the hands slightly. And then straight away this morning, we'll take the attention to somewhere you can feel the breath clearly. So whether that's around the area of the nostrils, the chest, or the belly. Just allowing your breath in its natural rhythm to start to draw your attention in. And we'll follow another 4 or 5 breaths here. See if you can start to create that kind of connection between your attention and the breath. So your breath is like an anchor. Your attention is bobbing around on the waves. It drifts off, and the anchor brings it back. And we'll start with some really gentle opening of the neck here, just dropping one ear to one shoulder. Starting to notice what's going on in the area of the neck. Rolling over to one side and the other side. And now, the next time that you come with your ear towards the left, bring your left hand beside you. So we're coming to a little bit of a side stretch this morning. We're adding this on. Inhale, reaching your right fingertips up and over. Take a moment here. Try and stretch or bend even from the upper chest. So keeping here as well the lower back a little bit contained. Take an inhale to reach. And then exhale, just dropping your right thumb towards your side ribs. Now we're going to release a little bit the fascia and the muscles that connect the ribs together. So it might feel a little funny at first, but just stay with me. Bring your thumb in between any 2 ribs and start to kind of move or massage your thumb in between those 2 ribs. So it might feel a little bit tender. If it does, you're probably doing it right. This area tends to get a little bit sticky. And so what happens is the fascia and the muscles get a little tight and we find it difficult to breathe into the side body. Now you can stay in one place, moving the thumb up and down, or if you prefer, you can keep moving your hand to a slightly different spot. So you're constantly opening through the ribs here. And it really helps to actually send your breath to where you're opening. And I'm moving pretty slowly, but if you prefer to kind of move a little more forcefully, that's fine. But I find that slower helps to release a bit more. Keep breathing into this area. Take another inhale. And then exhale. Just come into center for a moment. Place your hands wherever they feel comfortable. And see if you can feel your breath in the side ribs. And maybe if you feel a little more space on the right now. And we'll come to the other side. So drop your right ear to the right. Bring your right hand to the side. And just for a moment, first reaching your left fingertips up and over. Being that nice deep stretch, take an inhale, soften the shoulders. And then exhale, drop your left hand towards any rib. And then find the rib below or underneath it. And then place your thumb in that space in between the ribs. So these are your intercostal muscles. But again, there's this fascia, this connective tissue all throughout the body that tends to get a little bit sticky. So because we're used to breathing to the front, this area gets a little tight, and then when we do try to breathe to it, it can feel tricky sometimes. So that's why we're just starting this class with a little bit of self-massage, a little bit of a release here. Again, you can keep coming to slightly different points, or if you prefer to stay in one area, especially if you find an area that feels a little tight, you can always stay there. Remember, keep sending your inhales down to the area you're releasing, so you're creating even more of an opening there. Take another inhale, and exhale, release, come to center. Place your hands on your legs, and again, take a moment to feel these areas left and right now that you've opened. Notice if you can feel the breath there. And then we'll take our strap. And we're going to continue with what we were doing yesterday. So again, placing the strap roughly underneath where you could imagine maybe a bra strap would be, if that helps. Otherwise, just near the lowest ribs. And then crossing the strap at the front. If you don't have a strap, don't worry. I'll show you an alternative in a moment. And really gently just place the strap in your hand. So you're not pulling. We're going to release the shoulders first. So inhale, draw the shoulders up. Exhale, release. 2 more times. Inhale, re-squeeze. Exhale, release. 1 more time. So by squeezing first, they can then release more easily. Soften the shoulders. You can imagine as though I've placed 2 little weights in each elbow crease. And then keeping a little bit of tension, but not pulling on the strap. And now see if you can start to send your inhale so that you're moving the strap out to the sides and your hands come in towards each other slightly. And then on the exhale, as you release that air again, you might feel your hands moving away from each other slightly. If you don't have a strap, you can just place your hands onto the area that we're focusing. So you just place your fingers forward and your thumbs back. And then again, you're just doing the same thing. So you're just feeling how the inhale really gently expands the rib cage left and right, and the exhale collapses the rib cage back into center. So we're teaching ourselves here with this little bit of feedback from the strap or the hands, how to get this really beautiful lateral expansion through the rib cage. We'll take another breath or 2 here. Exhaling. And release the strap. Just place it over to one side. We'll use it again in a moment. Place your hands on your thighs. See if you can take a breath or 2 without the strap, but imagining that feedback. Send your breath out to the side, east to west. Inhale. And exhaling to release. And then we'll come over to hands and knees. So just rolling yourself forwards, moving any props over to the side. Placing your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your sitting bones. Fingers gently spread. Take a moment to feel that neutral spine. And then again, we're focusing on the even distribution of the curve as you inhale, point the tailbone up. 1 vertebrae at a time, arching the spine, gazing forward. Exhale, 1 vertebrae at a time, rounding through the back, dropping the head. Just continuing like that, really gently. Take your time. And we're still focusing this morning on our back bend. So see if you can really bring your attention to when you're arching the spine. Notice how the lower back really likes the arch. The upper back doesn't arch as naturally. So see if you can feel yourself drawing your chest in between the pillars of your arms when you come into that arch. Maybe you close down your eyes here so you can feel even more, each vertebrae moving one by one. We'll take a couple more rounds. And then gently coming back in towards center. Make sure you're not too much towards the front of your mat. Walk your hands forward. We'll take a breath or 2 in our active puppy pose. So remember, active puppy pose, you're not collapsing. Your head is between the upper arms, ears between the upper arms. You're reaching your fingers forward and you're reaching your sitting bones, your hip creases up and back. This is a really nice preparation for our downward facing dog here. And also a really nice place to once more send the breath into the lateral rib cage area. So out east to west, take another inhale. And then exhale, slide your body forward. We're just going to take 1 back bend here, a really gentle one to help you to reconnect to the ground as you press your big toe and pinky toe into the mat. Sitting bones point towards the heels. Remember, exhale, always engage the core before you back bend, and then inhale, lifting the chest. Squeeze your elbows in towards you, roll your shoulders down and back. Chin is in slightly, so you're gazing just to the top of the mat. Take another inhale here, very nice. And then exhale, come through tabletop, tuck your toes, and then reach your hip creases up and back. Downward facing dog. Take any movements that you like here, so you can walk out the heels a little, bringing one heel and then the other one towards the mat. If you prefer, you can sway the hips left to right, maybe shaking out the head a little. Very nice. And then from here, we're going to start working again with our up dog. So on your next inhale, roll, wave your spine forwards into a plank. Stay here for a moment. I'm just going to explain again. If you prefer to come to the knees to watch, you can come to the knees. Now remember, up dog, the thighs and the lower legs are lifted away from the mat, and you're coming onto the tops of your feet and then drawing your chest forward between the arms. So you can come into it now. If you feel any pain or pinching in the lower back, lower the knees and the thighs, and then bend the elbow, come into a low cobra instead. Hinge the shoulder blades together. You're opening the neck naturally, so you're not craning through the head. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, come back onto your toes, reach your hip creases up and back. Downward facing dog. Remember, if at any time you need to take a child's pose, you just drop the knees and come down. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Smooth out the breath. Remember, if you're using that ujjayi, downward facing dog is a great place to re-engage it. We're going to come into our up dog one more time. Inhale, wave your spine forwards into a plank. Take an exhale here. And then inhale, come to the tops of the feet. Engage your core, so important. And then draw your chest forward. Keep the neck nice and natural, not craning your head up ever. Press the hands down, squeeze the shoulder blades, inhale. And then exhale again to come to the tops of the feet. Reach the hip creases up and back. One inhale here. And then exhale very gently, slowly. Walk your feet towards your hands. Placing your hands into your elbow creases. Keep the knees nicely bent and just sway yourself a little left to right. Taking a moment here to release through the spine. Shaking out the head. Now remember, we're incorporating up dog slowly. So it requires quite a lot of strength and control. If you feel like you lose that a little bit, it's best to just come down and come into a low cobra instead. Releasing the hands now. Inhaling, halfway lift, hands towards the knees. Exhale to fold. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling, halfway lift, activate the breath. Exhale to soften 1 more time. Inhaling halfway. Exhale to soften. Drop a little bit of weight into your heels. And then very slowly, feel yourself rolling your spine up 1 vertebrae at a time. And your head is the very last thing that comes up. Finding your Tadasana. So your feet are hip distance apart. Knees gently bent. Opening through the shoulders by bringing the palms of the hands to face forwards and then a little bit out. So we'll come into our flow. We'll come down to the mat the first 2 times, then we'll have the option for the up dog. Remember, whatever back bend you're doing, sternum to pubic bone to distribute the curve, move it away from the lower back and into the upper back. Take an exhale here. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, soft bend in the knees as you bring the hands down. Take your time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float your right foot a large step behind you. Taking 1 inhale here. Exhale to plank. A couple of breaths in this first plank. Press your hands down and away. Pinch underneath your shoulder blades. Imagine you're trying to carry lemons under the armpits. Take another inhale. And then exhale, we're going to come down to the mat this time. So knees, thighs, belly, chest down. Inhale, distribute the curve as you lift. And exhale through tabletop as you tuck the toes and peel your hip creases up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. Take a moment, shake out the head. Really nice. Charlie, remember, keep rolling your shoulder blades away from each other, armpits gaze. Yes, very nice. Inhale, reaching your right leg up. Exhale, bend the right knee and point the right knee up to the ceiling to open through the quad. Take an inhale. Exhale, right knee to nose, softly placing your right foot between your hands. Take an inhale. Exhale, left foot forwards. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Press your heels down. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, gazing up. Exhale, hands through center. Second side. Inhale to reach. Remember, move with your own breath. Exhale, soft bend in the knees as you fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, float your left foot a large step back. Take an inhale. Exhale to plank. Inhaling, couple of breaths in this first plank. Remember, if you want, you can always come down to the knees and come into a half plank. To activate more, imagine you're trying to drag your hands towards your feet. Take an inhale, and then exhale, lower the knees, thighs, belly, chest. Inhaling, baby cobra. Exhale through tabletop, tuck your toes, peel your hip creases up and back, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Nice. You can shake out the head. Alex, see if you can release your head a little more. There you go. And maybe walk your feet a tiny bit more towards your hands. Yes, I think that's better. On your next inhale, reach your left leg up. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, point it up to the ceiling, open through the quad. And then exhale, draw your knee to your nose softly. Place that left foot down. Take an inhale. Exhale, right foot forwards. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Press the heels down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands through center. Inhale to reach straight away. Second round. Exhale to fold. Move with your own breath, no rush. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, float your right foot back. Take an inhale in this lunge, open through the hip flexor. Exhale, plank. One inhale in this plank. And then today on the exhale, we're going to draw the chest straight away forwards to focus on the ab dog. Take an inhale here, engage the legs. And then exhale as you tuck the toes again. And reach your hip creases up and back, downward facing dog. Nice, take your time, move with your own breath. Charlie, see if you can imagine yourself bringing back a little bit of that curve in your lower back in your down dog. As you're trying to draw your belly towards your thighs, you might bend your knees a tiny bit more to get that. Yes, very nice. On your next inhale, reaching your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, softly placing your right foot between your hands. Take an inhale. Exhale, left foot forwards. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, press the heels down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands through center, final side. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot, large step back. Take an inhale. Exhale to plank. One inhale in a strong plank. And then exhale again, come to the tops of the feet. And imagine you're trying to pull your sternum forward between your arms. Take an inhale here. Exhale, come back. Downward facing dog. Couple of breaths in your down dog. Remember, child's pose is always there if you need it. Nice. On your next inhale, reaching your left leg up behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, softly placing the left foot down. Take an inhale here. Exhale, right foot forwards. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, press the heels down. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, hands through center. Hands can stay at center or come beside you. Take a moment. Notice the first sensation that draws your attention right now. Whether it's the heart rate, the breath, feet on the mat. And see if from there you can slowly expand this spotlight of your attention to include the whole field of your awareness. So you're feeling the boundaries of your skin, maybe some circulation, your breath. Maybe you can soften again a little in the belly to allow the breath to deepen. We're going to do some standing poses with the strap. So taking your strap, if you don't have one again, don't worry. I'll show you how to do it without as well. Place it over your neck for a moment so you've got it there. We're coming into Warrior One. Remember, Warrior One, feet always hip distance apart, not on a tightrope, but on tram tracks. Slide your right foot back a decent step. The bigger the step, the more intense the pose. And then point your right toes out to 45 degrees. Bend your left knee so it's right over the left heel. Press that back foot down and straighten it. And a little bit draw your right hip forwards, but then bend again through that left knee. Very nice. Take the strap. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. If you don't have a strap, interlace the hands and press the palms of the hands up. Take an inhale here as you lengthen. Exhale, bring both arms over towards the left. So you're getting a nice deep side bend. If you've got the strap, imagine you're trying to tear the strap in two. So you're tearing your left hand down, right hand up. Very nice. Stay there. Elbow, point your back toes forwards a bit more to the short edge of your mat. Yes, so you're not rotating the knee. And exhale back into center. Inhale to reach and open. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. This is a nice place for you to feel that even distribution of the back. So you're not collapsing into the lower back here. You're containing the lower back and then trying to almost bend through the sternum. And then we're going to move with the breath. So if you've got your hands together, I'll show you what to do in a moment. If you've got the strap, inhale here. And then exhale to move as you straighten the front knee. Bring the strap to your hip creases and inhale to fold forwards. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. So you're using the strap to draw your hip creases up and back. As much as you're drawing your chest forward, if you haven't got a strap, place your fingers into your hip creases and exhale, fold and do the same thing. And then you're using your fingers almost to do the same thing, to draw your hips up and back. Very nice. You can release the head, and you can definitely bend that front knee a little bit as well. It does not have to be straight. Take another inhale here. We're going to move with the breath. So exhale as you release, bend the left knee. Inhale, find that opening through the sternum. Exhale to move, hands to hips. Inhale to fold. Couple more times. Exhale to move, bend the left knee. Inhale, open, breathe into the side body. Exhale to move, hand to hips. Inhale to fold. Take your time, move with your own breath, no rush. We'll do that one more time. Lifting up on the inhale. Folding, exhale. And take one more inhale here. Nice. So we're really getting into the hamstring here a bit as well. Even though we're focusing on back bends, it's nice to have a bit of an all-rounder as well in the morning. And then just releasing your strap around your neck or to the side, whatever you prefer. Bring your hands forward. We're going to bring in a bit of a balance. Bend the left knee, lift up your right foot. Bringing your right leg as high as your body. You can stay here, or you can start to come into your warrior three, just a couple of breaths. Remember, you don't have to come all the way down with your chest. You can bring it up a little more, so you get that line from the heel to the crown. Take one more inhale. With your exhale, see if you can bring that right knee all the way up. Nice. Maybe you're giving it a little hug and release. Shake it out. Other side. Notice the breath for a moment. Can you even it out? Inhale and exhale. Hands to hips. Slide the left foot back. Remember, at least hip distance apart on those legs. And then bend the right knee. Draw the left hip forwards. Press the left hip back again. Taking the strap. Inhale to lift. If you haven't got a strap, interlace. And then wherever you are, draw both hands over to the right. So you're getting that really deep opening through the left side of the body. Imagine you're trying to tear the strap into. Very nice. Jay, I think you can get a bit more of a bend through that front knee. I'm a little bit more forward. Yeah, there you go. Take another inhale. Exhale into center. Couple of breaths here. This is a really nice place for us to feel the distribution of the curve. So you're engaging your core to protect the lower back. And then imagine you're trying to lift the sternum up. And then we'll move with the breath. Inhale here. Exhale to move. Hands to hips or strap to hips. Inhale to fold. We'll stay a couple of breaths in this first one just so you can feel it. Remember, the front knee can stay bent if you prefer. You're using your hands to get the sensation as though you're trying to draw your hip creases up and back. It's a really nice self-adjustment, this one. And then we'll move with the breath. So remember, exhale to move, lifting up. Inhale to stay. Exhale to move. Maybe you're straightening that front leg a little. Inhale to stay. Exhale to move, lifting it up. Inhale to stay. We'll take two more like that. Move with your own breath. Remember, if the breath is tricky, don't worry about it. Just focus on the movement. It'll all come in good time. One more time. And then just releasing the strap beside you. We're done with it for now. Place your hands forward. Focus on your right foot and slowly, gently lifting that left leg up. You can stay here, or if you prefer, you can bring your hands to your chest and gently raise yourself up into your warrior 3. We'll take a breath or two here. Focus your gaze. Nice. Really nice. And then exhale, gently coming up. Maybe squeeze that left knee and release. Shake it out. We'll take a half sun salute down to the mat. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. We're coming back to our back bends now. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, just stepping yourself back to your downward facing dog. Taking a breath or two here. Downward facing dog. Release the head. Inhale. And exhale, drop the knees down. Coming up onto your knees. First, we're going to strengthen a little bit through the front body. Bring your arms in front of you. Notice that if you bring the palms up, your shoulder blades move down. Nice. Take an inhale here. For more support, by the way, you can tuck the toes. And then exhale, drop yourself back just to the point where you feel like you're really starting to engage. And then bring yourself forward. We'll do that 2 more times. For more of a challenge, you can stay back for a moment longer before you lift yourself up. 1 more. Drop yourself back. Take your time. And lift yourself back up. Nice. Hands to hips. Now for camel, I would recommend everyone come onto their toes. We're going to do a half camel first. Remember, back bends can be pretty intense, especially if you're a little bit too mobile in the lower back, which most of us are, and maybe don't have those deeper abdominals working yet. If it feels too intense, just skip it. For now, we'll bring the right hand towards the right heel. And then inhale, reach your left fingertips all the way up and over, beside your left ear. Get that nice side opening. Inhale here. Exhale, drop the left arm in front of you and bring it all the way around to the left heel. Right fingertips reaching back. Take an inhale here. Exhale to move. We'll do that 2 more times on either side. Move with your own breath. So start creating your own rhythm, your own pace, where you're moving with the exhale and opening up with the inhale. Once more on either side. Beautiful. Really nice. And then bring your hands to your hip points. These little bony protrusions here at the front. And then I want you to really focus on tilting the hips up. So we've been working on this bowl of water that is the pelvis. If it helps, you can imagine that the water is going to pour out the back. If you don't know what that means, you can focus on this. Find the hip points and imagine you're putting them up like suspenders. So you should start to feel the hamstrings and the glutes engaging. That's good. And then only if it feels okay for your body, you can start to lean back. It's fine to lean back and then bring your hands to your heels and come into your Camel, Ustrasana. I recommend keeping the chin in so you're not straining the neck. If you're here, we'll stay here for 3 more breaths and you can bring your elbow creases to face out. If it's too much for you, just bring your hands to your lower back and come into a mini one. After your last inhale, use the exhale to bring you up. Release the toes, and for a moment, just come to sit back on your heels. We're going to do that again in a moment. For now, just notice whatever arises. Soften the shoulders. And then when you're ready, and if you would like to, coming up again, tucking the toes. So the hands on the hip point stops us from starting with a collapsed lower back and starts us in this already tilt of the pelvis forward, which is going to get more of that bend in the upper back. So bring the hip points up and then bring your hands to your heels and then open through the sternum. You can try and roll your shoulders out. And then this is where that side body breathing we've been practicing really becomes very important. You want to feel like you're breathing out laterally, east to west. We'll take another 3 breaths if that feels okay for you. Otherwise, just come out whenever you're ready. And then using your third exhale to draw you up. Untuck the toes, come to sit back on the heels. Fingers, hands pointing up. You can close down the eyes if you like. Take about 5 or 6 breaths here. It definitely can feel pretty intense, these back bends for some people. It's not a part of the body that we open very regularly. So if it feels intense, know that that's completely normal. Just notice what comes up and try and keep a little awareness with the breath as well. Come into a gentle twist from here. So inhale, reaching the fingertips up. Exhale, bend the chest towards the right. And then really simple, just drop your right hand behind you. Bring the back of the left hand onto the right thigh there. Soften the shoulders. If it feels okay for the head, you can gaze back. Vicky, make sure you're not falling back there. So bring your, yeah, that's better. Take another inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, come to the left. And then drop your left hand behind you. Bring the back of the right hand to the left thigh. Again, if it feels okay for the head, you can gaze back. Stay there. Couple of breaths. Very nice. Take another inhale. Exhale to center. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. And then this time, exhale, bring your hands forwards. You can widen the knees a little. Come into a child's pose. If you like, you can also bring your hands underneath your forehead to support. And then reaching one arm forward, pressing the other hand down, and rolling your way onto your back. We'll end with our little hip opener. So bring your left foot into center and cross your right knee on top of your left knee. Bring both legs in towards you and place your right hand on your left leg and your left hand on your right leg. The more towards your feet you bring the hands, the more intense it will be. Most intense is taking a hold of the pinky toe edge of your foot. So your right hand would be on your left foot, left hand would be on your right foot. See if you can feel your whole spine on the mat. If you like, you can take a little sway from left to right. Take another inhale here. And then exhale, release. Place your left foot in the center of the mat. Keep the legs crossed. Shift your hips slightly to the right and drop your knees to the left. Remember, it can be nice here to place a blanket or something under the legs if you have it nearby. If not, don't worry about it. Bring your arms beside you, palms of the hands facing up. Follow the journey of the breath here. Take another inhale. And then exhale to draw the knees back into center. Release the cross of the legs. Come to the other side. So right foot in center, left knee crosses over the right. Bring your legs towards you. You can place your right hand on your left leg, left hand on your right leg. You can bring it down to the ankles if you want. Maybe you're taking a hold of the pinky toe edge of your feet. Maybe you're giving yourself a little sway. See if you can soften the muscles around the neck and shoulders. Take another inhale here. And then exhale to release. Place your right foot in the center. Shift your hips slightly to the left. And then drop your knees to the right. If you like, you can place something under the legs. Bring your hands beside you, palms facing up. Follow the journey of the breath here in this twist. Take another inhale. And then with the exhale, bring your knees up towards you. Left hand on left knee, right hand on right knee. Maybe circling a little. Now remember, these final few moments here are always yours. So this is the time when you can feel most into your physical body, maybe most of the day. And it's really nice to just follow whatever that physical awareness is telling you or moving you to do. So try not to think about it. Maybe you don't want to move at all. Maybe you jiggle a little. It doesn't have to be yoga. Whatever you feel drawn to doing or not doing this morning. And then eventually, but there is no rush, we'll come into our final posture. So that can be lying down on your back, palms of the hands facing up. If you prefer to end in a seated posture, that is a nice option too. Now it's past exactly now. If you need to run off, I totally understand. Have a nice day. Otherwise, I will call you out in about 3 minutes, just to let you know. So wherever you are, whether you're seated or lying down, see if you can feel the weight of your body being supported by the earth underneath it. And then feel your body really settling into this stillness. So again, this morning, you might imagine as though your body is like a pool of water or a lake. And with all this movement that we've been making, the bottom of the pool, the water gets disturbed and the water becomes cloudy, maybe a bit muddy. You can also think of this as your thoughts. But then by coming into stillness and staying in stillness, slowly the sediment, everything sinks back towards the bottom of the pool or the lake. You might feel your body getting just a little heavier as it sinks down towards the bottom, towards the earth. And with stillness, sometimes we then find this little bit of clarity returning. And then all that's left is the gentle waves of the breath moving across the surface. Slowly deepening your breath again, bringing some small movements to your fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, maybe rolling your head around, maybe on an inhale, reaching the arms up and making yourself the longest form you can make you, filling each cell with an inhale and exhale, release. When you're ready, you can draw the knees in towards the chest. Maybe rolling over to one side, and then in your own time, make your way to a seated position. You can keep the eyes closed if that feels good. You can keep the hands down in your lap, or you can bring them up. Take a final moment to appreciate the effect of stillness. You might like to thank yourself for having allowed yourself this time. And in any case, I'd like to thank you for coming to practice backbends with me this morning. Namaste.